So let's start with the demo. So we are not going to touch any technical things. So this is just a demo, like a brief introduction about IBM MQ. Okay. So before starting the demo, let's start with the challenges in the IT industry before IBM MQ and what made a company called IBM to design a product called MQ and what are the challenges has been overcome through MQ. So let's see that. So coming to the challenges, so there are millions of business applications in the world of information technology. As you are already a techie guy, you are pretty much aware. If you see any project in the world, there must be millions of projects to support that particular business. So here the challenge is to fulfill the business requirements, these applications need to interact with each other and they should exchange the information among themselves. So the problem is these applications, right? They have to communicate each other. Then only the business of that particular project will be in a position to run. If there is no communication among the applications, if the applications are not in a position to talk, then they are the business requirements are not going to fulfill. Okay, so this is a biggest challenge before sorry so this was a biggest challenge before IBM MQ. So to overcome this challenge, IBM corporation has come up with a solution, and the solution is MQ. So the purpose of MQ is only one thing: it will maintain communication among the applications. So with the help of MQ, applications can talk to each other. Clear?
Okay.
All right. So let's see some background history of MQ. So MQ, which stands for message queuing, introduced by IBM Corporation in the year March 1992. So in 1992, IBM company has officially launched their product of MQ in the market. So after that, they launched several versions of MQ. They are MQ5, MQ6 in 2005, MQ7 in 2008, MQ7.1 in 2011, MQ7.5 in 2012. But the thing is, till MQ7.5, it's an outdated version. IBM has already withdrawn the support, and IBM is not going to give any more support till 7.5 products. So now the latest supportable versions are MQ 8.0, which has been launched in 2014, and MQ 9.0, which has been launched in 2016. Now MQ 9.1 is also is there. So, but mostly the companies are using still 9.0 only, because IBM always recommends companies should always go with the N-1 technology. So it means that if IBM is released 9.1, so IBM always recommends companies has to use 9.0 version, because 9.0 it will be stabilized version. That's the thing. So even MQ 8.0 is also going to out of support from April 2020. So 30 April 2020 is the last date for IBM MQ 8.0 support. After that, only 9.0 and 9.1. So MQ is a part of middleware technology, and the reason is it stays in between the applications. That's why MQ is a part of middleware technology. So MQ is specially designed to communicate the applications among themselves over the network. So the purpose of MQ is only one thing. It will come with the help of MQ, application can communicate each other over the network. That's all. That's the only purpose of MQ, nothing else. And how it is going to communicate, what are the parameters it is going to use? Yes, we are going to see in our technical sessions. And let's see what's an MQ. So MQ stands for message queuing. An application can exchange the information in the form of messages. That's why MQ is called as a messaging service. Okay, so till now we are saying that application has to communicate, application need to exchange the information. So, but the thing is how they are exchanging the information, that is in the form of messages. So that's why MQ is called as a messaging service. So getting some clarity, what's an MQ?
Actually, I know the MQ, what we do the MQ, but
Hmm.
the main information, because I'm not part of the administration, but I use the MQ
Okay.
since long period. But
All right.
yeah, because when I was working in the data integration area, We
Uh-huh.
the real-time data is communicating through MQ only.
All
We
right.
go for the queue manager and open the data
Mhm.
the MQ and debug the particular transaction. I have the clear idea. Some
Okay, that's cool.
the
That's cool.
not expert level. I have some idea
Okay.
of the MQ.
Okay, that's really good to hear. So then you made my work very simple.
Yeah,
Okay, now let's see a sample scenario. I mean, on which case MQ can be used. Okay, here I am taking a situation that a money transfer between two banks, ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank. Hope you're aware ICICI and HDFC. These are very famous banks in India. Okay, so ICICI is a different organization, HDFC is a different organization. So the situation is money transfer. Okay,
mhm.
so the thing is how the money transfer is going to happen between ICICI and HDFC. That situation we are going to see now. So first thing, there is a ICICI customer who uses ICICI net banking application, and there is an HDFC customer who uses HDFC net banking application. Here the requirement is ICICI guy he has to transfer some money to HDFC person. That's the requirement. So what ICICI person will do? First of all, he will generate some information. He will enter some information. What information ICICI person has to enter? HDFC person customer name, his account number, his IFCS code, how much money he has to transfer, whether it should be NEFT or IMPS or RTGS. Some message the ICICI person is generating, right? So based on that information, money will be debited from the ICICI account and that will be credited to the HDFC account person, and all this thing happens over the network. So this how money transfer should happen between two banks, right? Agree?
Yeah,
So for now here what happens here, ICICI application is talking to HDFC application like, hey, I'm sending this much of money, you have to receive this much of money. So they're talking to each other, they're communicating to each other. So for these kind of requirements, MQ is going to best suitable thing. Okay, if you closely see here, ICICI bank, ICICI application has generated some input. So the same input has been, sorry, it has generated some output, right? ICICI application. The same output has become an input for HDFC application. So if ICICI has not generated any output, will there be any output for HDFC?
sorry, I missed here what it is.
Okay. So I am asking here, ICICI has generated some output, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the same output has become input for HDFC.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, if ICICI has not generated any output, will there be input for HDFC?
No, because without receiving some transaction, how the system can
E-
understand.
Exactly. It means that at the back end, these two applications are talking to each other. So
Mm-hmm.
for these kind of application, for these kind of situations, MQ is going to be a best source. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just, I have taken one simple scenario, what we see in the real time. But if you see any project, these kind of requirements will be huge. It will be trillions of transactions, trillions of requirements will be there. Okay. Now, but the thing is, why MQ is the best option for application communication? So the thing is, in the market, we have some other MQ product, another messaging products also like MSMQ, JMS, FTP. So, but out of this, IBM MQ is in top position. Although it is a legacy, it is a, it's almost 25 years now. It's a legacy technology. Still, it is leader in the market. You know why? The advantages which are provided by IBM MQ is not going to provided by any other vendor. So these advantages put IBM MQ in the top list in the messaging products. So let's see now what are the advantages of MQ. So the first thing is asynchronous. IBM MQ is always an asynchronous communication. So do you aware what is an asynchronous communication? So communications are two types: asynchronous communication, synchronous communication. So do you aware what is an asynchronous and what is a synchronous communication?
Mm, yeah, honestly, I know the what is asynchronous and synchronous, but
Mhm.
within the part of MQ, how it is acting, I don't know.
No, I'm not talking part of MQ. I'm talking in a general English, plain English, general
Oh, I
knowledge.
understand.
Okay. Can you give me an example of asynchronous communication?
Mm, asynchronous communication, like we are going to share the data.
Okay. No technical, general English. Don't go into technical now. General English. What is
That
an asynchronous?
okay. That way I cannot give any answer.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Then let me tell you one scenario. For example, if I want to send you some information via email. Okay. So
Okay.
I have
Oh yeah.
composed an. Sorry, you're asking something.
No, no. You're sending some information via.
Okay. Via an email. I want to send you an email.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So if I want to compose and send an email, is there a necessity for me that you have to log into your email? You have to sit in front of the system. Should I check for that?
Not required because it is going to
Not
store
required, right? So
system.
so exactly. It is going to store in our email box, and as soon as you come and see, you can read and you can receive the message, right? That's so mail is an asynchronous communication. So the sender guy need not to require to verify if the receiver is available or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is called an asynchronous. So simply we can say application need not to be available to all the times. Although your receiving application is down, still your MQ has the capability of successfully send the message to the receiver. For example, let me go back to the situation. Let me tell you one scenario here. Here, ICICI is sending some money to HDFC.
Mm-hmm.
Consider there is a situation that HDFC application, HDFC bank is in maintenance, and for 2 hours, its net banking application, ATM, nothing is going to work because they are under maintenance. And HDFC bank already informed to all their customers that hey, our HDFC bank is down for 2 hours, so don't use anything from HDFC. So they already informed to all his customers. Now, HDFC customer aware that okay, my application is down, my ATM is not going to work, my bank is not going to work. I need not to do anything. All the HDFC customers are aware. Now, does HDFC bank has a necessity to inform to ICICI customers about this information?
No, no, it's a protocol.
Not, not required, right? Because HDFC is a different organization, ICICI is a different organization. HDFC has to take care of its own customers, and ICICI has to take care of its own customers. That's all. Now the thing is, ICICI customer is not aware that HDFC is down. Okay, when HDFC is down, consider this ICICI guy has initiated money transfer. Now money has been debited from ICICI, transported via network, and money is trying to credit to HDFC. Now this application is not available to process this message, to process this transaction. Now this is a money related transaction. It's a financial thing. It's very, very sensitive data.
I try to understand what you are giving an example. So, okay, suppose one A bank is like ICICI Bank is an A bank and HDFC is the B bank. So, if
Mhm.
ICICI Bank is sending a money via
Uh-huh.
transfer, so
Uh-huh.
need to wait for the HDFC, the bank product means request or response for that one. But
Right.
they will send the transaction. The transaction is stored in the system. So and
Right.
the HDFC bank is active and able to utilize the transaction, they can read from the system. Right?
Ex- Exactly. Exactly. That is what asynchronous communication means.
Okay.
Okay. So synchronous means both sender and receiver has to be available at all the time. That is called synchronous communication. For example, if I want to chat with you in a Facebook Messenger or a something called WhatsApp, I have to make sure first of all you are available. Then only I can expect the immediate reply. Otherwise, I shouldn't expect.
That is also possible in MQ.
Obviously, it's possible, na?
Okay. No,
Okay,
that is a
now,
real-time streaming, right?
yeah, it's a real-time streaming only. See,
Real-time
it's
streaming is
very,
also possible in MQ.
of course, real-time streaming is possible in MQ.
Okay, okay. And I never faced the transaction like that. That's the reason I'm asking.
It is possible.
Okay.
Okay. Now the second thing is IBM MQ is a platform independent. It means that MQ is supported in all type of operating systems like Windows, AX, Linux, HP, Unix, mainframe, AS400. Okay.
The reason why I raise this question, real-time streaming, MQ has a limitation of the memory, right? So in
No,
the
it depends on the hard disk memory available on the server.
oh,
For example, if your hard disk is only 1 GB, but the message came trying to hit 2 GB, it's a limitation from the server itself. It's not the limitation from MQ. Because MQ
oh,
has the capability of serving how many messages, whatever you want. It depends on the performance, it depends on the RAM memory and the hard drive memory, the file system issue. A lot of things need to be into consideration.
there is no limitation in the MQ. Suppose in one of my transaction, okay, the transaction size of the data, we don't have any limitation on that.
No, the limitation is 100 MB. I mean, one message should be 100 MB.
Okay, okay.
That's all. So more than 100 MB, no, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of 100 MB messages, how many messages you can generate, you can keep on transferring from sender to receiver.
That means each block size is 100 MB.
It's not a block, it's a message.
Okay,
Message
message.
size has to be 100. There is no blocks concept in MQ.
Okay, yeah.
Now, the third thing is security. So MQ has the capability to transfer the message securely. For example, if you see our scenario, money transfer scenario, it's a money, it has to transfer over the network. When your money
Mm-hmm.
at ICICI server, yes, it is safe. When your money at HDFC server, of course it is safe. But when your money is traveling over the network is a public place, definitely there would be concept of hacking in the network. Some attacker can come and he can do anything to the money, right? So there is a necessity to provide the security for the message. So in MQ, we can implement the security while the message is transporting over the network. So there are various algorithms for that. So these kind of algorithms, how to give the security for our message, how to implement the security between MQ and to MQ, we are going to see in our security concept.
Uh,
Next,
but we are not at all actually in MQ. We have the queue manager, so many
uh-huh.
things. So you
Of
don't
course we do have.
diagram.
No, that will come in the technical introduction and all, no?
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So this is just a demo slide. We have technical introduction one, two, then point-to-point setup, triggering, security, SSL, red letter queue, clusters, a
Okay,
lot of things, right?
understand,
For
understand.
architecture,
You are giving highlights of
just
the
just highlights. That's all.
okay. Thank you.
Now the third thing is assurance. So MQ can provide a 100% guarantee of the message delivery. So remember one thing, MQ is one-time delivery. That's all. Message came, message sent. That's all. Done. MQ job is done. But that one-time delivery, that's for 100% sure. There is no miss for that.
Okay. Is there any types of the queue memories, queues? Like there are any types like
Yes, there are types of queues. There are only two types of queues in MQ. That is a predefined queue and dynamic queue. Again, predefined queues are subdivided into something called local queue, remote queue, transmission queue, dead letter queue, like that.
oh.
So again, dynamic queues are subdivided into like model queue, like that. That will come in our technical introduction part.
Actually, here I'm going to give because I don't want to take your time. There
No,
is
that's fine.
datagram concept.
Oh yeah, datagram concept is there. Datagram, reply, uh, reply to queue manager. That concept is there.
Yeah, yeah. That's the reason I raised the question because if you are sending if you are sending one transaction to the HDFC, you never accept any reply from them. Then that is one type of the uh,
Ex-
transaction. If you are going to
Exactly.
expect some reply back acknowledgement, that is a different type. So like
It's
that,
a related to manager thing.
yeah.
So it's simple. Some for example, if a sender guy just send a message and the sender is not expecting any acknowledgement from the receiver, it's a datagram.
Yeah, it's a yeah, correct, sir. Why I'm asking all these is when we are doing a debugging concepts, uh,
Uh-huh.
do we need to get into that level or not? That's the
No,
reason.
no, not required, not required, not required. Don't
Okay.
worry about those. No, so no one. Although you have 20 years of experience, although you have 30 years of
No.
experience,
I'm not in 20 years of experience. I'm working
no,
for
I'm just giving you
14,
a
15
convince
years.
of that.
Mm.
I'm pretty much sure that you don't get a necessity that, hey, this is a datagram message, hey, this is a repetitive queue manager message. No, I don't think so. You will get such kind of scenario. That
Mm.
is just a message types, that's all. And that is also designed by the application people, not by the MQ people.
Okay.
Clear? Is that answer your question?
Yeah. No
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will explore and collect the information. Okay. Yeah.
Sure. So the thing is accuracy. So MQ has the capability for accurately delivery of the message without any loss. So the thing is, if a sender is sending a message to receiver, so the MQ should have the capability. The message should reach to the exact destination. It should not deliver to the wrong destination. So then only the customers will think about MQ. They will try to use MQ product, right? So that kind
Mm-hmm.
of assurance is there in IBM MQ. So these are
Mm-hmm.
the main advantages of MQ: asynchronous, platform independent, security, assurance, and then accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see how messaging and queuing works. So for example, if you see this diagram, of course you can find this diagram in the IBM sites also. So for example, I have a program called some application called application A, another application called application B. The thing is, application A has to send some message to application B. That's what the purpose is. Consider
Mm-hmm.
these applications are using a technology called MQ. So via MQ, now the communication has to be happen between A and B. Now, how that is going to be happen? It's very simple. A connects to MQ and the message will keep on piling up in MQ. So Q means it's MQ. Now B also connects to MQ, but it is having some get permission. It will try to get the messages. So in this way, finally, a message will successfully reach from A to B. If B is down or B is not in a position to take the message from MQ, that's okay. Your message will still safer in MQ. So the thing is, if A and B are directly talking to each other, if B is down and A has sent the message, now what happened to this message? This will be definitely vanished.
Mm-hmm.
That's why MQ came into picture. MQ will preserve. MQ is a place to preserve your messages.
Mm-hmm.
So again, there will be some different conditions will come into picture that we are going to see in our technical sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Okay. Till now we are saying that applications will exchange the information in the form of messages among them so that they can communicate each other. Now let's see what is a message. What does an MQ message contain? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see this diagram, an MQ message, this entire rectangle, if you consider as an MQ message contains two things: message header and then user data.
Okay.
Okay. So in MQ, a message header contains details of a message. It is not the actual data, but details of that message. For example, which application is sending this message, which application is receiving this message, at what time the message has been generated, what is this particular message ID, and what is the priority of this message, and what is the expiry of this message, and a hell lot of things will be there for in the message header. And if we see the message data part, this message data is the actual data. I mean, what is this message? That is called message data. and message data is the actual thing that is generated by the application folks. So the application people will generate this data. Clear with header part and data part?
Yeah. No.
If you are very clear, then I have a question for you. So being an MQ admin, what do we need? Do we need header part? Do we need data part? Or do we need both?
Actually, we need both.
Why?
Because the data part means actually the transaction is the structure of the transaction. You can treat it as a header, and the corresponding structure data is in the data part, right?
Right.
So when the suppose if I'm a consumer, if I'm reading
Hmm.
what it is producing, so
Uh-huh.
to read the complete structure, right? We don't
No,
have,
I am not talking in the application guy perspective. I am talking in the MQ admin perspective. For example, there is some issue you need to troubleshoot.
okay.
Now, being an MQ admin, what should I need? Do I need header part? Do I need data part? That's what my question. Think from MQ admin
Strictly
level.
header part.
Right? So don't you need data?
The data is laying behind the header, right?
No, data is lying behind the header. But my question is, MQ
No, no,
admin.
no. So, okay, let's give a one. Okay, let's give you one technical structure like this. I don't
No,
know. No, no,
don't go
much
to
more
into it.
about the MQ. I
Uh-huh.
know the data set concept. The data set concept, the data is in the two physical structure. One is the data file and another one is the descriptor file. So the
Mhm.
descriptor file is on the configuration file, which
Uh-huh.
is maintain the data. So whenever we want a data, we without a descriptor file, we cannot handle it. Like that is the reason I'm saying.
Okay. So, okay, I got your thing. But the thing is, the fact is, being an MQ admin, we don't take care much of data. We will take care of only header part. The reason
Yeah, that,
is the duty of MQ admin is he has to make sure that the message has been successfully reached from sender to receiver. If that is reached, that's all. If you are sending 100 rupees or if you are sending 1 lakh rupee, 1 million, that's up to application people. That's not my burden. If you receive the message, that's all. I'm done. My job is done.
mm-hmm.
The thing is, if the receiver guy is saying, "Hey, I'm not receiving data. Can you check somewhere if it's stuck?" Now MCADMIN will come into picture that he will ask, "May I know what type of message you have sent? May I know when it is sent? May I know to where it has sent? May I know what is that message ID? All these things, and may I know to which queue you are sending. All these things I'm going to check with the application people whether they have successfully sent or not." So that's why MQ admin main concentration should be on the header part, not on the data part. Of course, MQ admin have the capability to see the message data also, but what MQ admin can do by seeing that message data? Nothing.
Okay, when you have a chance for debugging any point of time in MQ,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
from where you are going to start?
It depends on what kind of issue it is there.
Usually means first, okay, suppose I'm getting some the memory related, definitely we will go and check the depth of that one. And there are, yeah, whatever you're saying is correct, but the thing is, when we are going to check queue manager is the part, or else because when we run the queries, always we are going to pass the queue manager and corresponding messages, right?
One second. MQ doesn't have any queries. MQ have only commands.
DSR commands, I saw some commands, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. MQ has only commands, no queries.
Yeah, that is the command. Yeah. No, no, there are queries. I will talk to you later. Means when I'm starting the sessions. Yeah.
Okay, sure. No problem. Okay. So clear with the data part and header part.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see types of MQ messages. So in MQ, basically we have two kind of messages. So the first type of message is persistent message. The second type of message is non-persistent message. So let's see what is a persistent message and what is a non-persistent message. So persistent message means if MQ fails or restarts, then message will remain in the queue. That is what the persistent message means.
Mm-hmm.
And non-persistent means if MQ fails or restart, then message will not remain in the queue. There is no guarantee for non-persistent messages if MQ got restarted. That is what non-persistent means.
Okay.
Okay. So, but the thing is that persistent message, there are chances that may hit the performance of the server, because the thing is MQ, the queue manager has to concentrate more and more on the persistent message because it should not last. So it may consume some memory from the transaction logs and also some performance impact will be there when compared to handling non-persistent of messages. But the thing is, you have to make sure when you are designing your architecture, you have to put into this thing and you have to understand if this application is generating very, very critical data, then always go for the persistent. If this is a development thing or it's a test thing, that's okay. You can go for non-persistent. Although your queue manager is restarted, if message data is lost, that's okay. I'm okay. Business is okay with that. Then go for the non-persistence. It depends on your business structure. But basically, persistent means if MQ, I mean, if queue manager restarts, that's okay. Your MQ, your message will be still there in MQ in queue. But if non-persistent case, the messages are going to be vanished if queue manager is going to be restarted.
Okay.
Clear? So yeah, that's all for demo. So hope you got some clarity. What's MQ? What's their internal things? Fine.
Okay. And my last question is,
Yes.
so you only support the MQ, or else is there any other also? Like I'm just asking.
I mean, in my experience, I have worked on IIB administration also.
Why? We also use the IIB because we also use the
Okay.
we use M-Link. Uh,
Oh, MLink is very older, man. I think it's outdated. It is still there in the market.
I don't know. My environment, we have M-Link, we have RabbitMQ, Kafka. Are you support the Kafka?
Yeah, I used to give the trainings on Kafka as well.
No, no. I'm asking clearly because if you are really expert and in the industry, expert means if you are supporting, I try to understand because we are planning to build the new cluster.
For Kafka.
Yeah, currently
Okay.
we are planning to build.
Okay. All right. But the currently thing is I'm concentrating on the MQ trainings,
Okay,
IBM MQ
so
and IIB
yeah, that's
trainings.
the reason because few of the transactions we are
No, Kafka also I used to give the trainings.
no we
But
are
my
yeah, because when I say if I know I have to be answerable because we have
that's
already
right.
been in on site. So
Uh-huh.
but you my manager has he know end to end any question
Uh-huh.
type of error he will
Uh-huh.
quickly answer any version of the MQ.
Okay.
So
Good. That's good.
yeah, Kafka he just learned the things.
Mm-hmm.
We are planning a Confluence Kafka.
Oh, that's I think it's a latest version.
No, no, there are two versions. One is Apache Kafka, that is open source. There is another
That's true. But yeah,
Confluent Kafka.
Confluent Kafka is an enterprise version where most of the industries are now migrating to Confluent because Confluent Kafka is having many advantages when compared to Apache Kafka.
Only advantage is a case equal. I know because only advantage is case equal, and it supports enterprise version. And there is the guys who developed the Kafka, they started the company. That's the only thing. Other than that, we are running with Apache Kafka for almost 3 4 years. It is
Okay.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's all. Kafka is later thing. First, let's.
Okay, yeah, so MQ, okay. Yeah. And how you are planning? Suppose if I'm going to start.
Hey, again, your voice is breaking. I'm not
No,
able
no,
to
no,
resume anything.
no, no. How many days it will take, and how you are planning means you are going to install and because the practice is very important. Okay,
That's true. See,
my
one question.
one.
I got your question. Let me answer your question. So regarding the technical things, we are going to provide you the VMware software, and also we are going to provide you Linux ISO image. We are also
Mhm.
going to provide you IBM MQ9 software, and then we are going to give you the installation instructions, like how to set up MQ in your personal computer, so that you can do whatever the stuff you want to do. That will give you very hands-on, and you can do as much practice as you can.
Yeah, I need because since I am new to the MQ, I need some assurance installation on my desktop because that way, okay, I can practice myself.
Yeah, that's what. See, we are going to share with you VMware. First, you need to install VMware in your personal computer, and
Mm-hmm.
in the VMware, we are going to share you Linux ISO image, so that Linux operating system you can install in your VMware. And inside the Linux operating system, we are going to share with you IBM MQ9 file version, so
Okay.
that and also we can provide you at the time of MQ installation. I can give
Mm-hmm.
you a document. I mean, I can explain that instruction, and I can give you the document. It's a separate session. It's a 1 hour to 1.5 hour session.
Mm-hmm.
In that session, you will be able to understand how to install MQ in the real time.
Got it. Understand.
Fine. So that's more than enough, man. You can do that. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah, and usually you are conducting on weekends or else how it is?
No, these days I'm fully into training. So not only weekends, sir. I used to give corporate trainings and all. I used to give the online trainings, classroom trainings.
Corporate training. Oh, okay. Actually, most of the corporations are coming out from the MQ. Okay, no, maybe like myself, if anyone are interested, maybe, yeah.
I mean, I also hear that, but I hear this, we are getting so many MQ trainings, man, so many MQ training requirements. We're running out of time. We don't have the schedule, to say you
Oh,
frankly. So
good,
I
good.
don't. I told you, right? I already told you. MQ is a legacy. It's a older, but still it's number one in the market. The reason is advantages.
Yeah, definitely I agree with you, sir. Actually, the reason is the financial and insurance sector and all
Mhm.
running on the mainframe system, still they are continuing with the MQ because the Kafka
Right,
is not stabilized. So now Kafka is stabilized. Uh, Now people are start migrating one by one, not immediately. It takes a little time. Um,
that's true. That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
Mm. Okay, sir. Nice talking to you. May I know your name or else? Okay, you don't need reveal it.
No, my name is Hari.
Oh, Hari. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, no problem. So remaining formalities, you can talk to the coordinator. So once I got the confirmation from the coordinator, then we can go on.
yeah. In my case, if I'm going to move, it's very quickly. Means I don't want to wait for the time. So I have to start immediately because now holidays are coming, right? So once
Right,
are finished, we are going to rush in the regular job.
right.
So I'm planning to utilize these holidays and get some knowledge and start working in the environment. During that time, if I have any questions, is it okay to ask you or else that is a separate?
No, no, that is fine. I mean, we will be sending our email ID for IBM MQ thing. So whatever the questions you have after the training, also you can drop an email so that we will be in a position to reply for that email.
Yeah, actually, this is my only personal purpose to maintain in the job environment. Actually,
Mhm.
Kafka is my main target, but unfortunately, I
Right.
don't see the people giving training at the Kafka. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
The main, yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, man. No problem. Have a good day then.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.